as audible to each of you? Okay, so let's start. And today's topic of our case study is Turkey-Syria earthquake. This particular case study, as the name itself is suggesting that it is about earthquakes. So this can be used in themes where earthquakes have been asked. Okay? Especially when I'm talking about the earthquake, so that falls in the geomorphology. So you all know, and currently geomorphology is going on. So first, I will tell you how to use these case studies because some of you have been joining this session for a very first time. Just a brief of how we will understand about these case studies. Then we will see some sort of mapping that is related to this, and finally the case study. Okay, suppose a question has been asked about an earthquake. Okay, how earthquakes are causing disasters all over the world. Suppose that question has been asked. So obviously, आपका approach क्या होगा? First, there will be the intro. Intro will be of 2 to 3 lines. ठीक है? Then you will make schematics. Schematics जिसको नहीं पता है मैं बता देता हूँ. Schematics means some of the points are not explicitly asked in the question, but they are implicit. So what you can do, you can make a box like this, can write it as reasons, and then you can mention 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, whatever number of points you have about this. Then you will start with body. Okay, body may you will write content as the question was how the earthquakes have been causing devastation. So you will write 1, 2, 3, etc. Fine. Then you have to write a case study here. Case study with a heading like Turkey-Syria earthquakes. ठीक है. और केस स्टडी है क्या? बेसिकली केस स्टडी एक एग्जांपल है, क्लासिक एग्जांपल दैट हैव बीन हैपेंड इन द पास्ट, और इट मस्ट नॉट बी अ वेरी ओल्ड वन, 1 or 2 years ओल्ड हो सकता है, बट केस स्टडी होगा आपका कि यू आर शोइंग अ रीजनल एग्जांपल ऑफ द आर्गुमेंट्स दैट यू हैव मेंशन्ड इन योर आंसर्स. ठीक है, तो दिस क्वेश्चन वाज कि हाउ द अर्थक्वेक्स हैव बीन कॉजिंग डिवास्टेशन. तो मैं एक ऐसी केस स्टडी लिखूंगा जिसमें आई एम शोइंग that this particular earthquake is one among very devastating one in the last few years. ठीक है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं टर्की सीरिया earthquake है तो आई विल मेक अ स्मॉल मैप ऑफ टर्की. ठीक है, सपोज दिस इज स्मॉल मैप ऑफ टर्की एंड आई विल लोकेट 2 3 लोकेशंस. वन लोकेशन इज हेयर, अदर वन इज हेयर. ठीक है, दिस इज इस्तांबुल. ऐसा कुछ मैं 2 3 प्लेसेस में दिखा दूंगा. देन there will be some description for this case study. 2 lines will be for the description of case study, like in this Turkey-Syria earthquake, this particular Turkey is lying on the numerous faults, and there are numerous faults like North Anatolia fault, Dead Sea Transform fault, ठीक है, Cyprus fault and all. And एक और लाइन जो आपको लिखनी है इसमें वो लिखनी है one line for data. 1 line for data. 2 lines for description, that is showing that this Turkey is the place that is famous for earthquakes. Every year, thousands of earthquakes have been occurring in this area. And the 1 line is for data. Data can be like 26,000 people got killed because of this particular earthquake in Turkey as well as nearby countries. Apart from this, you can write 40 earthquakes occurred in a one go having a magnitude of greater than 7. ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ आप लिखेंगे. मीन्स द केस स्टडी हैज टू बी फिनिश्ड अप इन 2 to 3 lines. So 3 things that you need here. One is the regional map. ठीक है, then you need a small description about this earthquake, and the third one is the data. ठीक है, ये 3 चीजें याद रखनी है आपको. And then finally अगर कोई पॉइंट्स हैं आपके पास, सॉल्यूशंस एंड ऑल, तो सॉल्यूशंस लिखें, एंड फाइनली यू कैन कम विद सम conclusion. In this way, your answer is over. And this is considered as an holistic approach where you have included the points, arguments with some examples, as well as the case studies. ठीक है. तो आज की जो केस स्टडी है, दिस केस स्टडी इज अबाउट टर्की सीरिया अर्थक्वेक in year 23-24. An earthquake has occurred and that was a very powerful earthquake. तो उसी के बारे में बताऊंगा. But before I start the Turkey-Syria earthquake, we will do some bit of mapping because mapping is also important. Maps नहीं बनेंगे तो geography में थोड़ी परेशानी होगी. तो first I will show you the map. ठीक है, I am drawing a map of Turkey as well as some of the regions that are close to it. This is a map of Turkey. ठीक है, ऐसा ये यहाँ पे एंड ये. And on the northern side of a Turkey, we have a Black Sea also. And Black Sea is very important because numerous times Black Sea have been asked in the prelims UPSC examination. ठीक है, तो this part is Russia. On this side we have Ukraine. This is Ukraine. ठीक है, this is Romania. This is Romania and this one is Bulgaria. ठीक है, this one is Black Sea. ये वाला जो है ये पूरा ब्लैक सी है. एंड थोड़ा बहुत मैं इधर भी दिखा देता हूं आपको, सो दैट यू हैव अ कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड हैव अ कंप्लीट पिक्चर. यहाँ पे आपका सीरिया. ठीक है, दिस विल बी सीरिया. और सीरिया के नीचे की तरफ ये एरिया है आपका जॉर्डन एंड ऑल. ठीक है, एंड सम मोर इंफॉर्मेशन दैट यू मस्ट नो. ये दिस इज सी ऑफ अजोव. सी ऑफ अजोव. ठीक है, this one is straight, that is Kerch Strait. ठीक है, this one is Bosphorus Strait. ठीक है, this one is Sea of Marmara. And this one is Dandelys Strait. ठीक है, and then this part ये आप लोगों ने देखा होगा in your atlases. This is Aegean Sea. ठीक है, now I am going to locate few places in the Turkey. ठीक है, टर्की का भी थोड़ा बहुत पता होना चाहिए आपको, आइडिया तो होना ही चाहिए. Like Turkey में on this side we have a Pontic Mounts. This is Pontic Mountains. Pontic Mountain. ठीक है, इधर है आपका Taurus Mounts. This is Taurus Mountain. ठीक है, ये हो गया आपका. इधर है आपका कोरोग्लू माउंटेन्स. दिस इज कोरोग्लू माउंटेन. ठीक है, टर्की माउंटेन्स हो गया. एंड वी हैव अ वेरी फेमस लेक, दैट इज लेक वे वैन इन टर्की, which is famous for its salinity. Once this was also asked in UPSC prelims. Lake Van, which is famous because of its very high salinity. ठीक है, और यहाँ पे एक प्लेस था, दिस वाज गाजियन टिप. Gaziantep was a place which was the epicenter of this particular earthquake. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे this was the epicenter, and this earthquake has released out a humongous magnitude of energy that has impacted not only Turkey but Syria also, Jordan, यहाँ पे इसराइल है, ठीक है, सभी पे इम्पैक्ट हुआ है इसका, इवन दिस रशिया का दिस वाला पार्ट, द बल्गेरियन पार्ट है ना, तो द ओवरऑल दिस earthquake was very devastating, very dangerous. ठीक है, so this was just to give you information about the maps. Now try to understand it in form of geomorphology. तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, अभी इसको हटा के यहाँ पे आई एम शोइंग यू अ मैप ऑफ टर्की अगेन. ठीक है, one more thing that you can locate in your this one, यहाँ पे a famous one is Anatolia Plateau. This part, this is a famous Anatolia Plateau. ठीक है, and Turkey is lying on a plate. This plate is Anatolian plate. Anatolia plate. ठीक है, on the north of this Anatolia plate, there is a fault. This fault is called as North Anatolian fault. North Anatolian fault, which is the meeting point, of Anatolia and Eurasian plate. ठीक है, on this side there is another fault. ये, this is East Anatolian fault. This is East Anatolian fault, which is the meeting point of Anatolia and Arabian plate. ठीक है, on this side we have a Dead Sea transform fault. Dead Sea transform fault. And this particular fault, that is the Dead Sea transform fault, this is also accommodating the relative motion. This is accommodating the relative motion of African and Arabian plate. What does this mean? This means that African and Arabian plate, they both are slightly moving, slightly shifting. And as they are shifting, their energy is getting stored inside this Dead Sea transform fault. And all you know that once this energy is released, it released out in form of waves, and those waves are responsible for the happening and the occurrences of earthquakes. So that is what I want to say, that this Dead Sea transform fault is already accommodating the energy that is being produced due to the movement of African and Arabian plate. ठीक है, फिर यहाँ पे एक और ट्रेंच है, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज सिप्रस ट्रेंच. Cyprus trench, or I can say this is Cyprus subduction zones. Cyprus subduction zone where African plate is subducting. Where African plate is subducting into entire Eurasian plate. ठीक है, another thing is here Hellenic subduction. This part has Hellenic subduction. Subductions means where the plates are converging, and again this is a convergent margin, where the African plate is subducting. Okay? And as you know, one plate, that is the heavier plate, always subducts into the lighter plate, and it is always the oceanic plate that subducts. ठीक है, तो ये जो है आपका अफ्रीका का जो ओशनिक पार्ट है, दैट इज सबडक्टिंग हियर. एंड ऑन दिस साइड वी हैव एजियन प्लेट. ठीक है, एजियन सी याद है आपको? वी हैव एजियन प्लेट. ठीक है, ये आपको डायग्राम ड्रॉ कर देना है. ऑन दिस साइड वी हैव अ नॉर्थ एनाटोलिया फॉल्ट, दिस साइड वी हैव अ ईस्ट एनाटोलिया फॉल्ट, वी हैव डेड सी ट्रांसफॉर्म फॉल्ट, we have Cyprus trench here, we have Hellenic subduction, we have Aegean plate which is colliding with the Anatolian plate. ठीक है, and all these reasons you can easily see that how the Turkey is being bounded and surrounded by the numerous plates. And obviously when these plates move or they slide past one another, there might be some right lateral strike slip faults, and these slip faults are known to cause very severe earthquakes. And that is why the Turkey is called as the hotbed of earthquakes. Hotbed बोलते हैं इसको, because in an year, on an average 33,000 earthquakes occur every year. एक ईयर में 33,000 earthquakes are occurring. That means generally आप देख लो कि more than 100 earthquakes एक दिन में आ जाते होंगे. And in the year 2024, Gaziantep, the place that I have shown you in a map, Gaziantep was the epicenter of this earthquake. ठीक है, it was the epicenter, and the magnitude of this earthquake was 7.8. 7.8. And another interesting thing is, this was not only the one earthquakes. In fact, the series of earthquakes have come out. जब ये earthquake हुआ, immediately after this, 40 such massive earthquakes occurred in 2 hours of duration. ठीक है, when this earthquake was occurred at the epicenter Gaziantep, along with that, after some duration of time, within a 2 hours of duration, more than 40 earthquakes have occurred, 40 shock waves have occurred, and all of them have a good amount of magnitude, above 5 or 6, and that is the reason for the devastation. ठीक है, इसी वजह से जो है आपका सारा स्ट्रक्चर वगैरह जो बर्बाद होता है, यहाँ पे डिजास्टर होता है. This is the reason for devastation of earthquake, in which 26,000 people got died, and this 26,000 people were not only of Turkey. In fact, 26,000 data is a combined data or combined death of Syria, Lebanon, Turkey. ठीक है, इन तीनों को मिला के जो आया है, और जॉर्डन भी है, जॉर्डन ऑल्सो. ठीक है, combining these 4 countries, the number of death toll due to this particular earthquake was 26,000 people. ठीक है, so now you have got the idea about the case study. That's it. यही है case study in which I have shown you a regional diagram where you can locate some faults. You can locate couple of places, and once the places are located, you can show the faults also: Dead Sea Transform Fault, Cyprus Trench, Hellenic Subduction, and you have an idea of why this Turkey is a hotbed of earthquakes. You can write a couple of lines that Turkey is a hotbed of earthquakes, which receives earthquakes at least on an average 33,000 times in a year. ठीक है, and in year 2024, Gaziantep was the epicenter of the massive earthquakes, which took a death toll of 26,000, and it was of magnitude 7.8. That's it, plus a regional diagram. That would be enough for you to present as a case study. Don't go beyond that. इतना सब कुछ diagram जो हमने बनाया है, इतना मत करना, else a lot of time get wasted, and you have only 7 minutes to include 7 minutes to write the answer, and within this duration you have to make the case study as a part of your answer also. Fine. So that's it. Goodbye for the day. We'll meet again tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll have some new topic. Okay. Bye bye. Take care.